Mrs. Seršen, can you tell us more about Slovenia's sort of trajectory in this energy transition? What are some achievements that have been fundamental in your journey?
Yes, I would highlight two in particular. First of all, we have now really a record growth in renewables, mainly in connection to the rooftop solar deployment. We have more than doubled our solar capacity in the last 2 years. We have now 1/3 of all installed capacity in the country is solar.
Oh, wow.
And the second success that I would really like to highlight when it comes to reaching out to climate neutrality is that we are really good in lowering our emissions. Last year we lowered our emissions for more than 6%.
Yeah.
We were also among the top 3 EU member states when it comes to lowering emission intensity, carbon emission intensity in the last 10 years. So it was minus 41%.
Right.
And we have also adopted a new, more ambitious targets last year for 2030. So this, I think, is worth highlighting as a move forward towards a green transition and a climate neutral
for sure,
state.
and also achievements that are fundamental to the scape of that landscape that you've been walking in that journey. So I mean, those are very remarkable things. If we look at the obstacles that Slovenia is facing to sort of accelerate action in the energy transition, what are some of those that you would point out, and how do you think that we can sort of go about reaching breakthroughs with them?
Well, we had one breakthrough. We are among the EU member states that unfortunately have not really started utilizing the wind energy potential that we have. Last year we have adopted the first national spatial plan for a smaller wind farm. So this was definitely a breakthrough in the country.
Nice.
However, the obstacles when it comes to wind power, they remain. Mainly two. First of all is the local opposition and civil engagements against the wind, because there's a lot of misconception, wrong information circulating the public, the general public. And the second one is that we have the highest share of Natura 2000 protection areas in the EU.
Oh, wow. That's remarkable.
And going into Natura 2000 areas, this is also where we have the largest potential when it comes to wind, harvesting wind energy.
That's a difficult one, right?
Yes, and then when you enter the Natura 2000 areas, immediately your costs go up, because it's more costly you have to do more environmental studies. You have to have a lengthier procedures when it comes to permitting. So this is something that we cannot tackle alone. This is where we need the European Union to really go to the decision makers and to the administration, public administration, and rise up on the awareness raising and also trainings, professional trainings, so that better decision making comes into play when you speak about administration.
Right, and the difficulty there is, of course, that at the end of the day you're then making a trade-off, and that's the complexity of it. There's biodiversity, there is sort of the acceleration that is needed. Challenges aside for a second, is Slovenia on track to sort of meet its targets when it comes to renewable energy systems?
I think we are.
Yeah.
I'm very proud that last year we have achieved our yearly and national renewable target for 2023. Just to give you any information, before that, for years we were importing or sort of buying statistical transfers because we didn't reach the minimum level of the renewables target. So now we are there, and we are pushing new investments forward. I think the challenge that remains, not just in front of Slovenia, but also in front of all other European Union member states, is the cross-border traffic, transport.
Yeah.
And putting renewables into the transport sector is extremely challenging.
Yeah.
And we need to have sort of European solutions here. Like, for example, Energy Taxation Directive is one of the tools where we could do some more work. And I hope we get there.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I at least find it very promising and hopeful that it's something that is being mentioned by more than one country. I've heard it over and over again, actually, at this BTD. So it's also something with a lot of potential, hopefully, for some international cooperation right there. Mrs. Seršen, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you
we have
very
a
much.
big round of applause. And thank you so much for sharing Slovenia's perspective.